Hi everyone. I think we're going to start with downloading first of all VirtualBox, and the next thing we're going to download is going to be Ubuntu. So I'm going to go to VirtualBox website. Um, okay. So I open VirtualBox. Then the next website I go to is Ubuntu. Okay. Um, so I download the VirtualBox variation that is available right now, which is VirtualBox 6.1, and for Windows, people using Windows, you have to use the Windows host. For people using Mac OS, you have to use the OS X host. Other people that are using Linux directly can just download the Linux version of VirtualBox. But for Windows, since I'm using a Windows 11, I'm going to download the Windows host. So once I click it, you can see it starts downloading, and I go to Ubuntu, while that downloads, and I download the Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. So I'm going to download this, and yes, it started downloading. Okay, so Ubuntu and VirtualBox have finished downloading, so I'll just go ahead with the installation. Start with VirtualBox. Okay, you accept the prompt, then you have this prompt, then click next. Okay, you want it to be installed. Okay, program files are yes, next. Yes, next. Yes, next. Okay, so wait for it to install. To take several minutes. Oh shit. Okay, we would like to install this device. Yes, and it's just finished installing. So now we're going to run the virtual machine VirtualBox. So we're going to start with creating a new virtual machine on it. So click new. So I'm going to give this Linux ubuntu. That's the name. It is going to be saved at this location. It is Linux, and the Ubuntu version we're installing is Ubuntu. As you can see, 64. Well, there are other things you can also install as a virtual machine, since it is an ISO file we downloaded. So you can install the Windows ISO, Linux, Solara, and the one Mac limiting. So, but what we're installing is Linux, and it's Ubuntu 64. There are different variations and distributions of Linux. You understand? So there's Sandox, Red Hat, Oracle, Mandrive, Gentoo, Fedora, but Ubuntu 64 is what we're working with. So next. So I'll make sure I give it a sizable amount of RAM to use. So it says my laptop has 6 gig RAM available. So I'm probably going to give it three, three, or three or two, like 7 MB of RAM is enough. So click next. Then it says the recommended size of hard drive is 10 gig, but we're going to make sure give it up to 20 to 30 gig. So create a virtual hard disk now. Yes, create virtual disk. Yes, so change that. Dynamic application continue. So rather than 10 gig, I have 2 terabyte allocation. So I'm going to give it 40 to 50 gig for me because I have space. Okay. Okay, and next. So we've created an image file. So what we're going to do is to click start. This, by the way, this installation method I'm going through is what is available on Ubuntu. So it says on a virtual machine, virtual machine. So you can check the processes here. It's the same processes I went through. So you go to the name, memory size, exact disk, everything. So you can read through that. This is on the Ubuntu's website. So now we're going to go and install the image disk. So that means we need to click start. So we need to click start. Then we wait for it to give us the prompt, and then we are going to go to the folder where we downloaded the Linux. Remember, so that's not where it was for me. It is in my new folder. This is it. This is the downloaded Ubuntu file. So we click choose and we click start. Then it is going to boot up. Yes, then click enter. Sorry, pressing enter. Then wait for it to run the boot and mouse button integration. That. I think we're going to give it a. Oh, it's actually fast. Interesting. So it's coming up. Um, and it's booting up, as you can see. Uh, okay. So I'm going to start English. That's not what I want. I'm going to click install Ubuntu and English keyboard layout. So I use a UK keyboard layout, so I'm going to click UK. Yeah. So, but if your keyboard layout is US, you can just leave it on US. But I use a UK keyboard layout and I don't want it to change. So I click continue. I want normal installation. I want update after installing. Um, then I install now. I click continue. It's London. Continue. And I give it a name. Okay. Fix the username called Michael for me. Uh, give it a password. Just for the sake of it. Since I'm just going to use it for this duration, I do not need it to require my password every time, so login automatically. But you can give it to be secure. If I'm going to use it over time, it's better to give it a good password, the right password, than require password to log in like a normal system. So then I'm going to wait a bit for it to install. Let's give it more time. Still installing. Okay, so it's installing the system. I think still going to show. So we're going to still correct the screen resolution, but for now it's giving us a smaller screen resolution. I'm going to show you how to do that, and yeah. So we'll wait for it to finish installing, retrieving the files, installing away require files that we need. So for installing Hadoop, we're going to need to work with Java. Installing, okay. I would have loved to open it in the browser in the VMware. I think I'll wait for it to come up so we can do that and see what I'm talking about. Even on Hadoop to show you the Java requirements that you need to install for it to work. So okay, so I forgot to mention there are also different variations of of Linux distribution you could decide to download. I decided to go with Ubuntu because I feel it's very like unique to our case. Take others can go for something called Kali Linux. But it's more of a penetration, but it's the same thing. It's a Linux. It's just a different variation of it. So this is Kali Linux. So it looks like it's the same thing, but most people in cybersecurity uses it because it has some of the tools that they need to work with. So that's why they always go with Kali Linux. But that's Nmap, Responder, SQL Map, Wireshark, but with Ubuntu, we do not need that. Is good for us. Okay, so I am back and the installation has been completed. So it says installation is complete. You need to install the computer in order to use the installation. actually restarting the computer is referring to is just the VMware, so it is going to restart it for us to work with. It is not going to restart your full computer, but just the VMware. So now it's going to move the installation medium. Okay, so now it's going to restart. Yeah, we have our Ubuntu working. I do not need this. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to fix the screen resolution, and then you can continue with the installation of Add2. So thank you for waiting this long for the final installation of Ubuntu. So I think I'm just going to skip these few settings for now, setting up them. Okay, you can just like to send it to them, not to Ubuntu, leave the privacy, done. So I will go to settings. So I will right click on the symbol over here and go to settings and go to screen display. I use the 1920p screen resolution, so 180 16 by 9. That's what I use, and that's what most computers are. So I keep the changes. So now I have a full-fledged display. Then I'm going to give it a view. I'm going to give it full screen, and I switch it. Okay, and as you can see, it has switched to a new display. So I do not need the update right now. So remind me later. So we have a full-fledged Linux OS working on the VMware, and it's working quite fine. Thank you for waiting this long. So what I'm looking for right now is the terminal, which is located in the applications. But this is where most of the installation processes will take place. So thank you for waiting this long.